Shikui suddenly falls from the sky on an unknown continent. He wonders why he is still alive after being involved in an accident and dying. As he lies down in the fields, a pretty lady named Su-ru unknowingly walks nearby and attempts to ease herself just over his head. When she discovers that he is there, she gets embarrassed and quickly flies off on her sword. She thinks he is a pervert. Then some memories flood into Shikui's brain, and he realizes that he is inside another body. The body of the prince-in-law of that continent's empire. The prince-in-law was killed after his cultivation and spiritual roots were stolen by the princess. Shuru comes back flying towards him, attempting to come and kill him for peeking at her butt. He identifies himself as the prince-in-law by showing her the prince-in-law's token, making Shuru wonder if it is truly him. A bluffing system gets activated which will be his guide and help him take over the world. He then starts to earn points for every bluff he makes. He checks the other gifts he's got from the system and goes on to activate all of them, thus repairing the ruined spiritual root and restoring all the powers the prince-in-law once lost. Shuru attacks him, but he dodges it. He uses the water element spiritual Xiai and captures her. He then attempts to sleep with her since she already called him a pervert. Her masters from the Tianwu sect appear and stop him. They attempt to attack him, but he runs very fast and escapes using the earth element spiritual Kai, and they wonder how he could do that. They begin to think he is a spy from the Tudian Empire, the Earth Element Empire, whose people are known to be experts at running away. Shuru is given the deity confining rope and told to chase and capture him. As she tries to capture him, he uses the divine travel talisman and gets teleported to the Tianwu sect base. He wonders why the talisman brought him to this place, and as he tries to escape, he discovers he is in the Tianwu sect's treasure pavilion, where many treasures are stored. He then starts to steal them and keeps them in the bluffing system's spatial storage bag until his inventory gets full. Suddenly, someone enters and catches him. The guy attacks him using the fire element spiritual key, and Sheik realizes that he won't be easy to deal with. He attempts to fight back, but just as he tries to punch him, he feels a pain in his chest and starts to cough out blood. It happens that he had consumed an overdose of Juyuan pills, which are used for boosting spiritual Kai. He activates self-repair and tries to access the spiritual Kai within his body, but can't since he has only learned the first part of the immemorial 5 elements technique. He tries to buy the second part, but realizes that he doesn't have enough bluffing points to buy it. He then teleports to another location, deceiving the other guy into thinking that he's self-destructed. The system makes a plan to save him from his imminent death due to his declining health and gives him a guide to help in breaking his meridians. This will allow him to use up the excess spiritual Qi in his body and heal him. However, he has to cultivate in seclusion and suffer through the pain of breaking one's meridians. He starts the cultivation process and he does this for 2 full days before losing consciousness. He wakes up in a room in Panshan village with bandages all over his body. A lady who introduces herself as Xiao Ru walks in and tells him that she found him while she was up on the mountain collecting herbs. Shikui tries bluffing by lying that he is a hunter who was hunting a wolf pack on the mountain. He admires her beauty and soon starts to flirt with her, which causes her to blush and quickly leave the room. He then initiates self-repair and his body recovers completely. Xiaoru comes in and sees that he has completely recovered from his injuries. She wonders how it happened, as the doctor said that he would need to be on medication for a full month before he fully recovers. She then leaves the room to go get him some clothes. He waits for some time, and when she doesn't return, he decides to go look for her. On getting outside, he sees that the village is scanty and wonders where everyone is. Soon he meets some villagers who tell him they are going to save Xiao Ru from a wild beast that appeared in the mountain. He quickly runs to the scene to see what's happening, and on getting there, he tells the villagers to leave the beast for him to handle. They decline, saying he is just recovering from an injury, but he immediately runs toward the beast when it attempts to attack Xiao Ru. He stops the beast and kicks it with his leg, throwing the beast off. This surprises everyone, and they marvel at his strength. He decides to finish this off quickly, and then gives the beast a powerful blow which leads to its death. The villagers start to praise him as their hero sent by the heavens. He gains more bluff and experience points from killing the beast and breaks through to a new skill level. He checks out the shop in the system and considers the different skills available in it which he could use for bluffing to earn more points. The skills are separated into different tiers, so he decides to check them one after the other. After checking for some time, he doesn't find any skill attractive to him. However, he gets to a particular tier that gets his attention. After considering the number of bluff points he has, he finally buys the Soaring Dragon 9 Changes skill, which increases his strength by 9 times. He continues to check his status window and activates some new rewards he just got: a recycling skill, a camouflaging puppet, and a divine travel talisman. The recycling skill would help him to recycle anything and convert them to a corresponding item's upgrade. He returns to the village, and while he talks with Xiao Ru, he hears some loud noise from outside and decides to check what's happening. It's Pang Bao, the neighboring village's chief's son, with his men claiming that the Panshan village killed the tiger beast which belongs to them, and they have come to ask for compensation. Some villagers try to stall him while they await help from the village, but Pang Bao injures them with a slash of his sword. His innate strength is so strong. Shiku arrives at the scene and insults Pang Bao for coming to disturb his village. Pang Bao gets angry and attempts several attacks on him, but he dodges all of them. Pang Bao sees that Xiao Ru is very pretty and tries to lay his hands on her, but Shiku stops him and gives him a befitting punch. He then decides to test the strength of his new skill, the Soaring Dragon 9 Changes, and lands a blow on him, immediately killing him. Xiao Ru and some villagers present begin to think that he is an immortal. Xiao Ru tells him about the Tianwu sect who come every month to terrorize them. The Panshan village is demanded to always offer them food, drinks, and beast scores, and if they fail to do so, the strong men from the village would be captured, never to be seen again. Just as she talks, a man arrives with a poster bearing Shiku's picture. He tells them that the immortals from the Tianwu sect are in the village looking for him. Shiku is told to hide somewhere since he might be killed if they find out his whereabouts. The immortals meet some villagers and ask them about Shiku, but they claim not to have seen him before. They soon start to attack the villagers. Shiku couldn't bear the sight of this, so he comes out to save them. He takes some sword hits for them and tells them to go and hide somewhere instead of sacrificing themselves for him. He then turns to fight the immortals. They'd actually want the ancient saint technique from him. He upgrades the Soaring Dragon 9 Changes skill to its peak and starts to kill them one after the other. This surprises the leader of the sect, and he tries to retreat and go call the elders of their sect to come and fight him themselves. However, Shiku has determined not to let any of them escape. He eventually kills the leader of the sect and returns to the villagers. He feels remorseful because the village chief and the other villagers died because of him. He then takes up the responsibility and promises to protect the Panshan village and Xiao Ru with his life. He later checks his status window and discovers that he acquired a lot of points from fighting the Tianwu cultivators. He then checks for more skills to purchase to prepare him for the return of other cultivators from the Tianwu sect. Limited by the number of points he has earned, he carefully chooses to purchase the 4 Directions Desolation spell out of all the options available. The 4 Directions Desolation spell requires that he sets up 4 spell cores and pour beast blood as a sacrifice before it can be activated. He then purchases the second part of the ancient 5 elemental arts and upgrades to the core-bearing stage immediately. Xiao Ru appears and tells him that a lot of immortal cultivators have appeared on the mountain and are flying toward the village. Shiku sees this as an opportunity to earn more experience points, but Xiao Ru also informs him that among the cultivators approaching them is a powerful cultivator who can raise a mountain with one hand, and it would be best not to offend them. However, Shiku reassures her of his promise to protect the village, and they head outside. On getting outside, he instructs some villagers to help him get the blood of some beasts. The cultivators appear quicker than he expected, so he plans to delay them to buy the villagers some time to get what he asked for. He goes to the top of the mountain and starts to trick them. When he realizes that the villagers have the blood of the beasts he asked of them, he quickly heads back to the village and pours the blood on the 4 spell cores. Meanwhile, the immortal cultivators couldn't do anything since they'd been deceived into thinking the village is protected by a powerhouse. After pouring the blood at the 4 spell cores, the 4 Directions Desolation spell gets activated, and the immortal cultivators realize that they have been deceived. They attempt to break the spell, but Shiku appears and starts to deal with them. The immortal cultivators mock him when he tells them that he plans to kill them with the spell. They think it's an easy spell to break. Elder Liu, one of the immortal cultivators, then tries breaking the spell with his powers but gets disappointed. Shiku then activates the spell and a phoenix appears. The immortal cultivators think it's just an illusion he created just to scare them away and they dare him to attack them with it. However, they soon discover that it isn't an illusion. They attempt to retreat, but Shi Kui unleashes the other divine beasts, which start to kill the immortal cultivators. He moves closer to them and Elder Wang from the immortal cultivators starts to attack him. Elder Wang sees that the 4 divine beasts have been used up and thinks it's an opportunity to attack the Panshan village. He orders his other cultivators to break the seeming already weak spell and attack the village instead of retreating like they planned. However, they are shocked as they are killed while they attempt to break the spell. Only Elder Wang is left. Will the Tianwu sect begin to fear the Panshan village because of Shi Kui, or will they send stronger reinforcements? Let us know if you want the next part in the comment section. Also, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel. See you guys in the next video.